Alright, last song, outro. God, I really hope you can hear me properly here. I'm not sure whether you've been able to hear me this whole time or not. You should be, because I'm not playing this at the same time. But yeah, outro. Turn off that limiter. A lot of mixing things going on with this song. First of all, intro I did with this sliding EQ on the bass and on the source synth sound, just to make it fade in quite nicely.
This is the grand finale.
Right there, I again did another kind of crossfade transition going into the first beat here. This, as you can see, automated the frequency of this filter just to fade in the sound quite nicely over time and fade out that bass sound so that it swaps nicely with the 808 sound I used in the verse. And going into that verse, I did use a little reversed 808 leading into the first 808 hit here. You can hear that right now. Nice impact there, just fading in. Next thing I did was go onto this. That's actually most of the mixing on the first beat, other than low cut here, low and mid cut, just to leave a lot of room for that 808. And going into the second beat, there was a lot going on in this transition here. So first of all, see this stereo wideness preset turns on and makes the synths get wider and wider and kind of turn into this surround sound pool of synth noise.
Shit is illegal.
How much more stereo there is in that second beat. Now, as it did that, the stereo wideness, increasing the stereo does increase the dBs, so the volume, which is why right here, as the stereo wideness increased, I turned down the volume of the beat by 0.5 decibel just to compensate for that. The volume of the melody is not the volume of the beat overall. Now, I also, right here, with the vocal mixing, since there's less going on in the first beat, you can hear the vocals quite clearly.
Got a man like Rafe, man, I shoot him in the face. And she grabbing on my waist, saying, let's go to my place. Plus another amount of faith, yeah, you know she got a taste. Then I left without a trace, now the cops are in my case. Who's the same old copy paste, they're gon' crack it like a vase. I can't keep up with my pace, wearing black amounts of waste. Man, I'm fucking on the spot, and she bouncing on my pole. And we spin up on your block, now your body full of hole.
Lyrics aren't that great, but it was fun recording that. But yeah, you can hear the vocals quite clearly, but going into the second beat, they got quite muddy, so I just turned up the volume there, again, by about 0.5 decibel. Just to make them cut through a little bit clearer in that quite dense mix.
This shit is illegal.
I lead up like SD, but I'm never playing Smash. All these loyal to my missus, all these other girls are trash. When my parents searched my room, I was scared they found a stash. But thank God they fucking didn't, I was smoking hella hot.
Warning, all these bars are made up. Now, all of them are complete lies, and we do not be smoking any hash. Yeah. So last thing, going into the... Not last thing, really, there's a lot more. But in the vocal mixing chain, again, harsh peak cutting compressor, light overall volume reduction compressor, EQ cutting out the low end, leave room for that sub bass, and that's pretty much it. Again, glue compressor to smooth things out. Talking of sub bass, right here, with every 808 hit in this pattern, I automated this band of the high-end band of this EQ to dip with every 808 hit, so it sounds like the 808's basically swallowing up the high end of the beat and drowning the whole thing in that 808 sound.
Lead up like SD, but I'm never playing Smash. All these whores at my door.
Language, but yeah. You can hear that just giving the 808 some room to really hit through the mix. Also, yeah, you've seen the stereo wideness. I also, again, to show the 808s swallowing up the entire thing, I added a lot of stereo wideness to the higher frequencies of the 808. Just to give that a surround sound feel, but I've kept the bass in mono so we don't have any like phase issues in speakers. Alright. Final main mixing part of this beat is the outro. Main thing it does, it gets quieter for one.
Hosted by MC Stanislav.
Fades out in volume. Here it also slows down in BPM from this point onwards. So it fades out in volume and slows down. And last thing is these recorded acoustic drums. I added a glue compressor here just to added EQs to all of them. Added just to boost the frequencies that are needed and cut out the ones that aren't. Also pitched them all down, which is an interesting thing. I pitched all the pitched them all down 6 semitones. Just to get this kind of sampled, gritty sound. And last thing I did was add, again, like I did in the earlier sections of the song, another automated high-pass filter right there to make the drums kind of fade away into the background as the outro continues. Yeah, you can hear that as they get kind of further and further away in the mix. It's leading to this nice kind of reverby outro right here.
Dexter.
That's pretty much it for the EP. A lot of little mixing decisions, a lot of audio effects use, a lot of saturation. There's also just a saturator on the main here. It's not really doing much, it's just giving a bit more color to the sounds. Probably can't even really hear it, but yeah. Oh yeah. Same limiter, reducing gain, well, boosting the gain really to get some like professional sounding loudness out of the song, and just boosting it until I get a good amount of gain reduction.
Fuck your bitch on Easter and I'm rhyming like Fei Ming. I just met this girl named Lee. She says she thinks I'm a twink. Yes, I fuck her on the sing. Like Bound 2 by Kanye West is to reference that song, because basically it's the song Bound 2.
Sorry, it was just very fun to record with my friend. But yeah, that is all the mastering I did. Same mastering channel on every song, by the way, just EQ, reducing the muddiness of the 808s, get those vocals and those sub basses to sound clearer, and a limiter really boosting the gain. All of these were set to soft clip to just get a little more distortion and color, because that's the kind of thing I like in my songs. Just boosting the gain to get some good loudness out of it. Thank you.